people probably don't warm up before a trail race, but I think it's really important. So usually I like to show up about an hour before the race starts, make sure I have my fluids, my bib, I'm all checked in and ready to go. And then about 40 minutes before the race starts, I like to get a 20-minute jog in, make sure the muscles are warmed up. And then I like to go through some dynamic movements just to make sure I'm ready to go up and down really steep stuff.
All right, so getting ready for a trail race is a little bit different than, say, a road race or going through a marathon prep. So we're gonna have lateral movement, we're gonna have very quick movements, and we're gonna need a lot of agility when you're bombing down the mountain. So one, we need to make sure we have enough range of motion to do what we're gonna do. Two, we need to wake up the body parts we need. And three, we need to turn them on with speed. All right, so what we need to do is just start out with a little bit of basic mobility, going down to touch our toes and reaching back. So arms overhead, toe touch, up, tight glutes and reach back. 2 more times. All right, now we're gonna work on a side reach. So just a small step sideways, arms up high, and reach, and step to the other side. 3 times each side. And from the toe touch, let's drop your hips in nice and deep. Knees outside of elbows. And back up. And 1 more time, toe touch. And now try to keep your hands under your toes, straighten your knees. And let's do that 1 more time. We're gonna go into a push-up position. And we're gonna bring the left leg up. Keep the back knee straight and try to sink your hips. And let's repeat that on the other side. So now we're gonna hold this position, and left hand, we're gonna reach under the right arm and come up and turn as far as you can the other direction. 2 more times. And the last component thrown into the mobility, we're gonna do a side lunge with a bowler. So stepping into a side lunge, and then up, drop that leg behind you. Bingo, dropping the shoulder. 2 more times. And same thing on the other side. So stepping into the side lunge, back to our bowler, dropping the right shoulder. All right, we're gonna start out with some toe swipes. And again, our magic number 3 times each side. Lengthen the back of the hamstring, wake everything up. And now let's get our hips stretched out. So we're gonna cross one leg over the other, sit down nice and deep, take a step and swap. Take a step and swap. 1 more each side. And now we're gonna challenge your balance, your hamstring range of motion, and your hip flexor. So grab behind, reach down. If you can touch the ground, beautiful, and repeat on the other side. All right, so now let's warm up our hips. So we're gonna go through some side steps. And make sure you do feel the upper outer quadrant of your rear end. So we do not want your IT band, we do not want your quad. 10 steps one way and 10 steps back. We also want to make sure we're maintaining nice posture. So shoulder blades are back, a little bit of a hip hinge. We refer to this as the athletic position. Now we're gonna go through 10 hip hinges. So choke down on your band and just basically an RDL. So we wanna make sure we maintain spine posture. Good glute squeeze coming up at the top. And you wanna feel a little bit of tension on the hamstrings at the bottom. And again, really make sure you get that glute squeeze at the top. After we get through 10 of these, we're simply gonna transition to a single leg variation. So an SL RDL. So we're gonna go band under one foot, both ends in the opposite hand, choke down on a little bit. And with these, you don't have to have a tremendous amount of tension. We just need enough for your body to respond. As you come up, big squeeze of the glute. Try to focus on keeping your belly button pointing towards your down foot, the middle of your foot, or even the little toe. That'll help you not spin out your hips. And then of course, we need to get 10 on the other side. All right, so now we're gonna go with a little step back lunge, increase our range of motion for running uphill. And we've got the super band. This can be done without the super band just the same. So we go about 5 times stepping back, driving the knee up. The band does pull you sideways, a little more is going on, but no band is fine. After you get 5 to 10, we wanna bring a little springiness into this. So we're gonna add a little hop at the top. Nice and controlled, and this will be anywhere 5 to 10. So we've got a mini band around the ankles. We're gonna go side step. So 10 steps one way And make sure that you do feel the upper outer quadrant of your rear end with this. We're not looking for any IT band or quad sensation. Got a nice athletic position, a little bit of a hip hinge, and we're gonna head back with 10 steps. After 10, we're gonna shift the band up just below the knees. So I do like to keep the band below the joint line, and we're gonna go through 10 squats. As you go through the squats, you wanna feel like you're trying to rip the gravel apart with your feet, rip the band apart with your knees, and we want a good glute squeeze at the top. After our 10 squats, we're gonna go into fire hydrants. So plant one foot, make sure you have a nice stable tripod position, engage your short foot posture. And with the fire hydrant, we are really focused on your stance leg. So make sure that knee stays nice and straight, points right down the center of your foot. The leg that's in motion, you're moving the leg back, turning your knee out, and then moving it away from your body. So we're gonna go 10 times each side, but again, really keep an eye on your stance foot. Make sure the foot's engaged, the knee's lined up, and that you're not turning your pelvis. After 10 on one side, we'll get 10 on the other side. All right, so now we want to keep going along this train with our hips, but at the same time, let's wake up those calves. So semicircle hops. We're gonna go anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds, and we're just springing off the balls of our feet and semicircle hop. So there's an imaginary line right down the middle of your stance, and all you're doing is circling your feet around, keeping tension on the band. Now we're gonna go straight up and down for 20 seconds. Really pop your feet off the ground. You're gonna be bouncing up and down the mountain, you better be ready. So obviously out on the trail, we're not just running straight ahead, so we need to be ready to handle any direction. So now we need to get some lateral movement in there. So we're gonna start out with some side shuffles. We just like 3 side shuffles, then you're gonna spin around, face the other direction, 3 side shuffles, and then go right into some karaokes.